All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Shelter in Place Festival. This is our 5th performance of the day. It is Making Do, and it is written by Alina Rios, starring Mark Oristano, Sarah Kiefer, and this is directed by Ashley White. Thank you. Enjoy.
So, how are you?
Fine.
I'm sorry that I couldn't.
That's fine. That's fine. No, I wouldn't expect.
It's not about that. It's not actually allowed. Gatherings, funerals.
Right. I thought of the two of us, I'd be the first to.
Me too.
Not your mother, not your mother.
Me too. Well, don't worry. I didn't wish for it. It's just logical. You know, you're old. And, well, you're not super healthy.
I just don't know what to do. I mean, do I invite?
No, you can't.
It's just strange. No ceremony, no rabbi.
I know. Look, the good thing is, I'm trying to look on the bright. Really, we really don't have to pretend anymore.
Pretend?
Yeah, you don't have to pretend that you like me or love me. We don't have to talk again. I mean, we haven't been already, so it shouldn't be that different.
Right.
Can you please tilt your camera?
What?
All I could see is the ceiling, and I know what the ceiling in the house looks like.
All right, wait a minute. You haven't seen the ceiling like this for a while, though. All the smoking has turned it a new color.
You're smoking again?
Yeah. You know, I could have it too.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you probably do. I wouldn't take it as an invitation to, like, I don't know, give yourself a lung cancer too. And don't invite anybody.
You're wise, Kelly. You're very wise.
Right. Unless I'm a slut.
No, there is no need to.
No, of course not. Of course not. Look, I'm wise now. That was just me 20 years ago when I was less wise, AKA a slut.
Kelly.
Bill. What?
Nothing. It's just weird hearing you call me that.
Yeah, well, it's your name.
Yes.
You know what Mom told me? She told me that you didn't want to adopt me. That you never officially.
That was so long ago. I had my reasons then. It had nothing to do with you.
You mean adopting me had nothing to do with me.
Look, let's not.
Sure.
You know, if I have this vile thing,
Just take yourself to the emergency room.
emergency. You know they're overloaded. You know there won't be a bed. There's no point, is there?
Guess not.
You look so much like her.
Yeah, I do. That's my cat.
It's like she's still. I mean, I don't know how to. Moving on is going to be hard.
Do you regret it a bit?
What?
Either, actually. Calling me a slut, not adopting me, yelling at her so much.
That I do, the yelling. But look, my mom yelled at me all the time. It's what I learned.
That's only an excuse when you're in your 20s, okay? You're
Thanks.
old. Yeah,
Thanks.
well, you have to own up to shit when you're in your 60s.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I truly am. I mean, she was difficult for me, your mom. But yes, I just shouldn't have yelled.
Good. God, can you fix your screen, please? Again?
Stupid things. Better?
Yes.
Look, I really don't know what to do, Kelly. I don't know how I can. I need.
We could say the Kaddish. We can do that.
I've never learned it.
Well, that's what the internet is for. Hang on. I'm gonna email it to you real quick, okay?
Thanks. That's a very good idea. That would be.
Okay. Well, yes, it would be something. She would like that. She wanted us to be more involved in the traditions. I only wanted to get involved in the eating part of the tradition. Oh God, she made the best hamantaschen. God, I would kill.
I think I know where she kept her recipe book.
Wait, she had a recipe book?
She was old too, you know. Anyway, I can send it to you.
You can?
Well, yeah, in a bit, you know, once I can get out of the house.
Yes.
I'd need your address.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Sorry, I don't know it. She knew it by heart.
Did you get my email?
Wait, hang on. Yeah. Wait, it says, I remember now. What about the Shiva, the minyan that starts tomorrow?
Oh, what are the rules?
A minyan is composed of a mix of 10 or more adult males and females. During Shiva, a minyan will gather at the home of those in mourning for service at homes, gathering 10.
Well, I have Zoom. Do you have Zoom? Bill?
I've heard of it.
This is I don't know if this it will have to do. Okay, I'll send the invites to our extended family. Okay, they'll call you each morning. Is 9 good? I can just set it up for 9, and then, well, you can like see everybody on the same screen. And I don't know if I can get 10, but I can get what, your cousins, and there was somebody in Denver. Listen, just send me the contacts, okay?
You're years ahead of me. The virtual Shiva.
A sign of the times. Oh, shit. Are you crying? Sorry, don't cry.
Will you call in? Will you call into this ultra modern virtual Shiva?
I will.
What about after the weekends?
Well, what about it?
Will you call after?
I don't know.
I don't want to stop talking.
Should we read the Kaddish?
Yes, yeah. Who should?
Together.
Uh,
Uh,
um,
um,
Yitgadal,
Yitgadal,
Yitkadash,
V'Yitkadash,
Shmerabba,
B'mei Rabbah, Be'alma,
Yalma,
Divra,
Yirtai,
Kirutei,
Yamlich,
V'Yamlik Malkutei,
Kon,
V'Kayakon,
V'Yoman,
Uviomekon,
Kaivel,
Uviachai, Dekol, Biet Israel,
Allah,
Ba'agala,
Dan Karim.
Uvizman Kariv, V'Imru.
Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful performance, director and performers. I'm very impressed with your work. Alina, if you want to join me, we will start our Q&A. Congratulations on your work. Yes, audience, if you want to ask Alina any questions, I will be keeping up with the live feed. So if you have any questions about the work or about her, just fire away. Well, I will start with, where are you sheltering in place right now?
I am in Seattle, Washington.
How is it up there?
It's beautiful. Thankfully.
That's okay.
Yeah, outside is spring, and and that's a hopeful thing. Yeah, I mean, I wish we could enjoy it more, but we're doing our part.
Yes, for sure. Well, tell me the inspiration for this piece. What inspired you to write it?
I think I've been writing a lot of short pieces now because I think it's helping me deal with my fears, my own fears. I will read something in the news, like the fact that, the funerals are now not allowed in many places, right? And it's just like the fear of, what if somebody close to me dies, and what if, how does this all work? Like, what happens after? Like, how do people deal with grief, and how do they deal with grief on their own, while we're sheltering? Anyway, it's just like, it seems like this is the way I've been processing the news, is writing pieces like this. Not very cheerful pieces, but
Hey, it doesn't always have to be cheerful. I mean, this is not exactly a cheerful time, and we all deal with hard times in a different way.
yeah,
And I think some people really do need this. I think it helps.
that's the hope.
Yes, and it has hope. I really love the redemption between these two characters. And I wrote down, dealing with death and family can bring them together despite a very tumultuous past. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think, I think that we're right now, I think lots of us are in this a bit of a constant small trauma state, where I think we're being tested, whether we know it or not. And I think we're being tested on a very human and deep level. And how we respond to it, I think, really shows us who we are, and how others respond to it in our, close circles also shows us who they are. And I think it's time that people can choose to really close off or really open up. And I think I've seen a lot of opening ups, I've seen a lot of people kind of like stepping up and growing in this, right? And so I wanted to write something that speaks to that. Also, I think it's just my hope that this kind of event, or the current times, just help us all open up and just get closer to one another, even though we're apart.
Yeah, I love that. We have some great questions from the audience. Chris Daria says, that was amazing. I love the idea of the characters bonding and mending their relationship over prayer. Has anything from religion slash spirituality helped you regain yourself in this time?
That's a great question. I'm not, it's funny because I think the characters in the play don't really know what they're doing, right? They're sort of know that there is a ritual, and they don't really know how to say the words very well. And I think that's where I am in general with religion, but I think I am a very spiritual person. And so like I do appreciate right now. So like my son goes to Catholic school, even though we're not Catholic. And I love the like the way the Catholic community is like coming together right now and supporting each other. Like that is very inspiring to me. So this was more like religion in terms of community and coming together than religion in terms of any other kind of any specific religion, right?
Right.
Anyway, I don't know if that answered the
No,
question.
I think that answered it beautifully. We have another question from Vanessa Wesley. She says, do you have any advice for artists to keep creating during this time if we are feeling stuck?
It's a really good question. I think what I find helpful is getting outside on my daily constitutional, and if possible, if you could keep the headphones off, and actually be present, which I find actually really, really hard. But when I do manage it, the first 20 minutes or so are quite hateful, honestly. But then you start to really connect with the environment. You feel like you hear your breath. It's almost like a meditation. And inevitably at the end of that, I come back with something. And then the other thing that I found is like, once you feel like you are stuck, but you might be full with something, like maybe you've seen some story, you've watched some kind of like performance, maybe you've seen a show like this, right? Like you feel like you're actually like full to the brim, but you can't spill. What I found really helpful was just to put some headphones on, some kind of music that's not too distracting, maybe no words, and just write. And then eventually you do end up in a play, in my case, or a poem in somebody else's case, or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's amazing. We have time for some more questions. I have one from Neil Lerner, and he says, I was surprisingly moved by the recited prayer at the end. What are your thoughts about incorporating existing texts, religious or otherwise, into your original work?
Interesting. I guess I'm curious if the question is this, I don't even know if the question is if this is like a cool thing to do. Should I have done it? I have not thought about this. I think personally though, I think as writers, we borrow all the time, and I think, we might not borrow verbatim because that's not legal, but we do borrow a thing here and a thing here, and sometimes it is a religious text, and sometimes it is actually an image that we just turn into words. So I think I find myself that all of my stuff comes together piece by piece from different things I've borrowed from everywhere, including the environment around me. So it's part of it.
Yeah. I have one more question from Don Joseph, and he says, what is it like hearing your words out loud?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it feels a bit, you feel a bit godlike for a second. But actually, I think, I mean, on top of that, you feel like, especially as like in this case, the acting I thought was so unbelievably good that I actually forgot it was my words. I really did. And I was just like watching these people. And then at the end it's like, oh, I can't believe this came out of me, because that's them speaking there. So kind of like like a bodily experience.
But that's amazing that you can sit back and enjoy your work. You're not thinking, oh, I could have done something different there. No, you're just enjoying it. I think that's
Afterwards, it might come, but during, I'm definitely enjoying it.
yes.
Yeah.
I really liked that you kind of touched on that religion is a way that some of us connect with any sort of community. And I feel like the characters in this piece are struggling with it, like no Shiva, we're doing it over Zoom. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have always wished that I had religion to fall back on, if you know what I mean. I did not grow up with religion. And I think that every time I come close to any kind of true religion, meaning that it is the community building kind, I just get shivers. And I think it has so much potential, like it has so much kindness, you know. And I think that if we were really like running our lives, you know, with kindness, right, and with compassion towards other people, God, we would be in a different world right now. I
Yeah.
think that's how I feel about this. And I think, I don't know if the characters in the play really find each other through religion, but I think they do get closer. You know, I think they're able to say, like, this is something ancient. We're a part of this tradition, even though we weren't really trained or brought up in this tradition, but we are a part of it. And to be able to feel that there is that connection, even though it's so removed from the present time, right? It is some kind of little tiny thing from which something else can grow, right? So.
And I mean, it's such a short piece, but even in that small amount, you touch on even the food, how we connect events and in religion with food. The female character is like, I associated this with the great food that my mom made. And I was thinking about it this Easter. I didn't get to spend it with my family. And
Right?
I associated that with food. And I feel like a lot of us are feeling that distance right now. And I
Yeah.
know many of our followers are also experiencing Passover right now.
Yeah.
We have time for one more question, and then we'll open it up to questions to the audience. Vanessa Wesley has one more question. She says, how has the experience of connecting over distance been for you?
It's been interesting because, you know, it doesn't feel 100% real,
Yeah.
sadly, you know. And so it feels like there is a definite void, you know, even though I have been lucky enough to connect with, you know, some of my friends and my family, you know, but it does feel still, it almost feels sometimes a little bit more lonely after you've connected over a virtual means, because you miss that being together so much more. You're reminded of what it used to feel like. So yeah, it's been, but it's the best that we can do right now.
It is. Well, do you have any questions to the audience that they might want to answer for you about the piece?
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. Oh God, I'm curious about so many things. I wasn't prepared for this question, but you know, I'm curious if this was moving, even if you're not part of the Jewish tradition, religion, whatnot. I'm curious if it was clear what the relationship between the two people was kind of early on. I'm curious if you wanted to know more about the story behind the slut. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I could go on.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for providing this gorgeous piece. And please keep creating and keep showing all of this to the world. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, you guys. You did an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we are going to cut it off here. We will see you in about 7 minutes for our next performance at 4:30. Bye, guys.